Hello and good morning, judges and ladies and gentlemen. I am Muhammad Danesh from University of Pembangunan Panca. Today talking as the opening government. This house believes that developing countries should require foreign companies operating in its territory to have a minimum quota of local workers. Yes, we believe this so much. We support this 100%. Why? Because it's gonna improve on local people economics. We cannot deny that developing countries have higher rate of poverty level, and in that sense they have higher rate of extreme poverty level, and having an outside companies, foreign companies to open in their territory, having a quota for these specific people are necessary to improve their living situation, to improve the country living situation. In the talking on the country, it's gonna improve on the country itself, not just the people economics, but the country economics. How? From the taxes, the tax of the worker. Yes, everyone that works in any country will have to pay taxes, no matter how little the job is or how little the work is. They have to pay taxes, and the country uses the taxes to develop their country. Since this is a developing country, right? They use the taxes money to develop their country, to pay debt, to develop more technological or political advancement. Now, these taxes help the countries, while unemployed people costing the countries. Yes, every unemployed people will cost the countries, because the countries will have to give them some help. Either it is food, living situation, or monthly allowance. The country will have to help. And this is costing the country. So having more employed person than unemployed person is key to a developing country. And this can be achieved by having a minimum quota for every foreign companies to have a local workers. Now, on the third point, reducing the influx of outside worker to a developing country, because the beneficial of local workers is higher than the benefit of outside worker to the country. Yes, outside workers do give taxes too, but not just that. The beneficial term for the country itself is higher if they have a local worker, if the local people works rather than the outside people works, because they're gonna reduce that poverty line, they're gonna help more people, they're gonna let every person to help themselves. Now, reducing the extreme poverty amount of that country, yes, we need to reduce that too, because right now globally we have almost 10% population living in that extreme poverty level line. Yes, to be honest, that's around 700 million people. To be specific, that's around 689 million people living in that extreme poverty level. What extreme poverty level? That's the people that earn less than $2 a day. They have to live with less than $2 a day. This is not a living situation for anyone in any country. So by letting or having every outside or foreign companies a minimum quota for the local workers, this gonna improve this a lot. More people gonna have jobs, more people gonna have work, gonna have more earning money. Now, not just that, it's gonna benefit the company itself. Yes, we are not talking just the countries. No, we are not talking just the people in that countries. We are talking the foreign companies that open in the territory of developing countries. Yes, it's gonna help them. The one point that's gonna help them is the local culture and the business practices of that country. Why? Because every country have a different business practices. Every country have a different way of conducting business, different rule, different culture, and having a local worker will improve this for the company, because they can provide the knowledge that they have to the company, so the company can adapt better to the situation, to the culture, to improve their products based on the culture of that country, specific country, right? And as a company itself, the main goal is to have more profit than cost. Less cost, more profit. And having a local worker will cut down on their cost so much, because they don't have to accommodate the living situation, food situation, or transportation for their country's worker, right? Because if they send the worker from their countries, they have to accommodate a living situation, food, supplies, transportation sometimes. While having a local worker will cut down the cost so much, because most already have a living situation and food situation under control, right? More than that, this is encouraging the company to have a diversity in them. They can learn from one another. More diversity means more knowledge being shared, not just for the local, but from the outside people too. They can learn about the country, they can learn about the language. For the local, they can learn about the language of the other countries, the culture, the people, how they conduct themselves. This is greatly beneficial for both the workers and the countries and the company that working within one another and helping one and each other. Now, this in terms will improve the local worker knowledge. Yes, this will improve their knowledge too, because now they're gonna learn from the more experience or different experiences by other countries' workers. This not just gonna help the local workers, this gonna help the country improvements. The country is gonna improve with every people in it. So if the worker improvements reach the maximum point, they can learn more from the outside workers, which is gonna help the countries to develop more. And I guess this is all from me, and thank you so much.